I think it was last week, I'm not sure, that I mentioned this thing about, discovering that there is an awareness there all the time as your thoughts come and go. That the awareness is there all the time, but the thoughts are transient. And I don't know for you, but you might think, well, that's pretty obvious, Martin. You might think that's pretty obvious, but it's very important. And as a matter of fact, some Dzogchen masters actually use this as the introduction to the nature of mind. Simply this noticing that there's an awareness that's there while the thoughts are coming and going. So, in a way, they talk about two types of awareness. There's the one that we're familiar with, which is that there's an awareness there when there's thoughts there, when there's memories from this. But then there's also what they call basic awareness, which is just the awareness itself, even when there's no thoughts or emotions or anything. One of them is called basic awareness, the other one is called effulgent Rigpa, basic Rigpa, effulgent Rigpa. And it's the basic Rigpa is, if you like, the focus of the discovery. This awareness that's not dependent upon objects, appearances in your mind. And so one of the things to bear in mind is that the nature of mind is not something new that a master gives you. The nature of mind is something that's been there since time immemorial. And a master really only helps you to discover it. It's something you already have. And so what the master is doing is helping you to discover this Rigpa. And, okay. I hope that wasn't just word salad. I hope it made sense. Or we can talk about it afterwards. So, as you just leave your thoughts to mind their own business, and I'm aware that that's something that people find very difficult to do. The reason why it's difficult to do is because you haven't done it. It's as simple as that. People ask me, oh, Martin, my mind is like this, blah, blah, blah. Have you actually tried to practice? Have you tried to leave it alone? So, as you leave the thoughts alone, usually they soften. Just simply from leaving them alone. They lose the fight in them. And but that's not the point of this practice. The point of this practice is simply to recognize the awareness. It's not trying to fix the thoughts. That again is a very important point. So, this practice is just about resting. It's just about allowing. We call it openness, Just allowing. Resting, no matter what the heck happens. no matter what appears in your mind, just leaving it alone. And I thought of a very good example. I think is a good example. It's like I'm sure. Is there anybody here who has not been bitten by a mosquito? No, that's what I thought. What's the key thing about having a mosquito bite? Don't scratch it. For God's sake, don't scratch it. Leave it alone. Like, go to the chemist or whatever, but don't scratch it. Likewise, when something arises in your mind, don't scratch it. Leave it alone. Rest, rest, rest. And I'll explain a little bit more when we've had our little sit about working with undesirable mental states. Okay, so let's just sit for a bit. Unless you're lying down, in which case you could lie down for a minute. You don't have to assume a posture. It's just relax. And you don't even have to relax. You just rest. You just stop. So we don't need to withdraw. We don't need to shut down. All we're simply doing is becoming aware. Aware of what? Aware of the fact that we're aware. How do you do that? By resting. Without falling asleep. Which is why we keep our eyes open, our hearing open, we breathe normally. You don't have to identify the awareness. Just simply know that you are aware. Very important. Just aware. At rest. Thinking is okay, but it won't help. Just rest. Take it easy. Just rest. There isn't anything to do. There's nothing to fix. Awareness is working perfectly. Just rest. Let go. No, why struggle? Just let go. Are you breathing? There is an awareness there all the time as the thoughts come and go. And you don't have to do anything with it. It's there all the time as the thoughts come and go. That is who you are. You're not the thoughts. So when you rest like this, the thoughts no longer control you. They're just things that are happening. Do you feel different?